Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. How are you doing, Ryan?
Hello, doing well.
Excellent.
Yeah. Same old.
Great. We kind of went over all of this stuff in the pre-show, which if you don't know, you have to catch live. There's no VOD of it ever.
Yeah, the content is too spicy for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to get Neal canceled with all the talk of
well, we can't tell you what it is because it would get us canceled.
There we go.
Right. That cancel culture. Ugh. I just wanted. Never mind.
Are you trying to beef up your viewership by ranting about cancel culture?
I was going to make a sarcastic remark about people who talk about cancel culture, but I figured it was preaching to the choir and not worth anyone's time or effort at all. So, Devon, my friend, where are we? We don't have a recap today because I'm a bad person. But no, this is not. This is Dicing with Death. Here we go.
So I believe this episode we are going elemental hunting.
Ah, yes, the elemental in the hills.
Actually, here we are up at. So last session the time skip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last session we skipped an unknown number of years. Who knows? Maybe Devon has a baby too, and we're just he's just a bad father and ignoring him to roam the hills in search of adventure.
Wizards don't have time to deal with changing diapers. That's why they have unseen servants. Also called your spouse.
Yeah. Devon's wife, the unseen servant.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah. Was her name?
See? Unseen, unheard, unknown.
She had a name. Might have been Helen.
Has a name. It's probably Helen. It's probably Helen. That sounds exactly like what I would name your wife. Yeah, because the coins have Devon's face on one side and Helen's head on the other side.
Cool.
Sweet. Either Helen's your wife or it's the elder's wife.
No,
your wife's mom. Okay, cool. Also, these are great little coin pictures I've drawn. Good enough to share with the world.
Can you post that to Dicing with Death Arts and Memes, Devon fan art?
Yeah, can someone screenshot this and post it to... I don't know if I can get the camera to focus
Finally, Neal can post in the artwork channel without getting his messages deleted and
oh my God.
slapped from the admins.
My mods are always deleting my messages in the Arts and Memes channels.
Because you're not allowed to post messages in the Arts and Memes channel.
Yep, and I keep doing it, and they keep having to delete them. And it's this is the way the world should work, you know?
So if Neal ever doesn't respond to you in the Discord, it's because he's been 24-hour banned for breaking the rules.
Breaking my own rules and telling my mods to enforce my breaking of the rules? Yes, I'm a lawful citizen here.
Yes.
I'm neutral because I will break the rules, but then I'm like comfortable with people finding me for breaking the rules.
That sounds lawful, right? A man can stray from his own convictions, right, and still hold them, right? I feel like
I'm willing to take the punishment to speak in the chat, so that is lawful. I'm not hiding from it. It's honorable at the least.
You're breaking the law, but you still want it enforced. I don't know. I guess it depends on if you think alignment is based on your actions or your beliefs / intentions.
I mean, it's half intent, half impact, right?
Chaotic lawful. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I think chaotic lawful is chaotic. If you only obey the law sometimes, that's
just called accountability, Ryan.
There you go.
Anyways,
back to Devon. We skipped some time. Necrot is growing.
Mm-hmm.
Devon's tower is slowly rising out of the Red Hills.
Mm-hmm.
A new village has been founded on the coast.
Yes, it has.
Shelter Bay, under diplomatic protection from the coastal raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some spell research done.
Yes, there was.
Some potions were brewed.
Yep.
And
And then you went to go search for an elemental, and you ended up near your giant, your pet giant.
Yes, this is the earth elemental that we accidentally unleashed upon this plane, or got stranded on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
It might be able to go back on its own accord, but it has chosen to hang out in the Red Hills, so we're hunting it down.
Excellent.
So we are up here, northeast of Necrot, north right of Necrot.
Thank you.
We spent a night in Kronos's shrine to Belthara.
Mm-hmm.
Visited our blood fountain, probably replenished our troll blood supply, and then sent our eye out, which swiftly spotted the elemental moving through the hills, and Devon ran out to meet it. And I think we kind of left it on a cliffhanger. Devon recollected his crystal ball, which he discarded in the desert out there, and he's now searching for this elemental on foot.
Mm-hmm. Going up with the white balance today. Way too green. Excellent, Devon. So, you have set out on foot after spending a night with your giant. Do you have a location on this creature?
We saw it with it. So he sent out his clairvoyance, modified clairvoyance spell, which animates a crystal ball to turn it into a floating eye.
Mm-hmm.
That he then sent out. And as soon as he spotted it, so he was watching for these stacked stones that sometimes are left around the hills to see if they were disturbed by the elemental. And he lucked out and spotted the elemental directly, or at least it moving beneath the dirt, churning up earth and rock. And then immediately dropped the clairvoyance and ran out on foot. It was about 5 miles. So he doesn't have a location at the moment, but he knows where it was 2 hours ago or something like that.
Excellent.
So here we are. And I believe it was following a relatively straight path, if I recall, to the north right.
There's no reason for an elemental to take a winding path. They can just... All right, Ryan. I want to see how fast you can get out there. So I think this is endurance for keeping up a run or a jog, because you can walk 5 miles in 2, 3, 4 hours through these hills, something like that.
I don't.
But if you want to huff it, not huff it, hoof it,
hoof it,
huff it, huff it, hoof.
You might be huffing when you're done hoofing it. I do not believe I have any special ability to move other than decent stats. So con check or something?
Yeah, I think that is the most appropriate action. Why don't you just keep making me con checks, and we'll just see how exceptional you are.
Keep making them?
Yeah, give me up to 3.
I'm wondering if there's another explanation here.
Oh my god, no, Devon just jogs like a madman, and you find yourself eagerly chasing this elemental down up into the hills, through the valleys and whatnot, until you have reached the place that your crystal ball has fallen. You've picked it up.
And I probably spot the churned up earth, right? Is there a weird trough where the elemental traveled? Maybe in a day or so the wind would obscure this, or if you didn't know what you were looking for, it would just look like an odd formation in the hills. But because I saw it moving so recently, I hope that I can just follow the upchurned earth.
You can
keep jogging.
And very shortly, the upturned earth will bring you to a cliff that overlooks the sea. You've walked past this area a long time ago when you were first adventuring and looking for the cave of Seltzer. So this area is vaguely, remotely familiar to you, at least looking out over the ocean is.
Yeah, I believe that encounter with the two-headed lion that forebode, I don't know, this entire campaign. was somewhere along this route.
Well,
and here we are looking back at the sea, coming full circle. Somewhere out here were the sirens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does it look like the upturned earth goes like straight off the cliff? Like, did it go to the edge and then down or something?
If you look off of the edge of the cliff, I would like you to make me a perception check. There's something here that is difficult to see.
No.
You can't tell what it is, but there is like a glint of something metallic that is off of the cliff. There's like a little tiny strip of beach, not real beach, just like rocky ground because it's low tide right now. And looking down, you can see that there's something metallic and reflective down in like a section of earth that has recently fallen off this cliffside.
How far below or how climbable are these cliffs?
Cliffs are they range between 80 and 120 feet. So at the area that you are right now, they are not a great roll.
That's still, I think that's still
110 feet.
That's still too high. I want to find a safer way down. I don't think I have any kind of like feather falling or anything like that.
Levitation.
So I think I'm going to be looking for a way down.
Okay.
So I would like to like go up and down the cliff a couple hundred feet in either direction and see if I can find a way to climb.
Yeah, you can find an area where there's like water gets collected as runoff and makes a little creek, and the area of the mountain here has been eroded by the creek, and it'll drop to a 60-foot height.
Does the creek flow straight into the river?
Into the ocean?
Into the ocean?
Yeah. I mean, it'll like pour off the cliff, and then there's it's low tide, so yeah.
But swimming wouldn't enable me to go.
No. You'd waterfall yourself off the cliff if you swam.
So ideally, I would like to find a safe-ish way to approach this this beachfront. If not, I mean, I do have divinations and stuff I might use if that seems more prudent. But I would rather get there in person.
Well, 60 feet, is that too much of a risk for you?
60-foot climb? What are we going to use? It would be like 45% climb chance or something like that?
That seems about right, because the cliff here is not particularly difficult. In fact, it might even be considered fairly easy because there's some like grass sticking out and some the face is pretty rough, but it's also a little bit crumbly. So I think the bonuses for it being like lots of handholds would be negated by the erosion factor of the side.
Yeah.
5% is not great, but it's not terrible. You know, it's like 3 rodkins per hour. The landing is at the base of the waterfall. It's just rock. On either side of the waterfall, it's dirt and rock.
Why do I not have a tumbling proficiency? Is that can warriors take tumbling? No, it's rogue only. Okay, that's what I'm working on. I've got a spare slot, but I need 2 since it's out of my class. That's a no-brainer. I should have taken that at character creation because that would be +2 on my unarmed attacks.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I mean, Devon's already pretty OP with like.
I kind of feel like you were getting +2 on your unarmed attacks. Are you?
I mean, I've got warrior Thaco. I've got martial arts styles.
I'm probably just misremembering then.
I don't know. I mean, right now I get +5 on my unarmed attacks or something from level. So I often use Strength of Stone, which gives like an extra +3 or something.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Anyway. It
tumbling.
Up in the book, it's a 40% chance for an unskilled climber. Conditions: you're a regular person, you're not wearing any armor, you don't have any ropes.
Unarmored is a bonus, right?
No, there's just penalties for wearing armor.
That's not true.
Well, if you're a rogue, there's bonuses.
Okay, rogues.
I'm just looking at. Yeah.
So a fighter can climb in plate mail with no penalty?
Plate mail gives you a -50% penalty.
So non-rogues only get penalties. They don't get bonus for being unarmored?
Correct. They only get penalties for wearing armor.
I think that's your interpretation. But
well, I'm looking at table 66. It says studded or padded is -5%. Scale or chain is -15. Plate is -50. Banded and splint is -25. Really? And there's no bonuses.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess that is rogue only. So there's a separate table that has like bonuses for unarmored. Okay. I guess I probably want to get down eventually. And if I fall, is it just straight damage? There's no save for half, is there?
Nope, not without a tumbling proficiency.
I could survive the fall, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, it's only 21 damage on average.
Yeah, but like I don't want to take a huge fall right before finding an earth elemental. I'll take the risk.
Okay. 40 or lower on a D100. Oh, nice. You can scramble down this cliffside. The water gets in your way a little bit. You move off to the side. You move back and forth as needed. Yeah.
And slowly listening as I go, looking out as I go. I think that's why I'm so successful, is I'm doing it slowly, cautiously. I'm stopping to listen for sounds of disturbance, rumbling of elementals.
Well, I guess your face is right next to this cliff as you are climbing down it. Give me another perception check to see if you hear the elemental within the earth or feel it vibrating against your fingertips is more likely. Ooh, no. Okay, no. You are too focused on the climb and the waves crashing below you.
Do I make it all the way to the bottom, or
no problem? Yeah, okay. All the way to the bottom.
All right. What is this glimmering object down here?
As you make your way across the beach, which is still at low tide, this area at high tide, like the waves crash against the cliffside itself, so this area is not always going to be walkable, but you do make it to that area where there's been a recent collapse, and you find mineral deposits. You find shiny silver deposits. You find large chunks of silver ore.
Can I would like to inspect this via mundane means. So rather than detect magic, using like my arcanology, my spellcraft, my folklore, my knowledge of such things to try and discern if these are natural silver deposits, I guess as natural as anything could be in a world like this. Or
are they from here, or were they carried by the earth elemental here? Yeah. It's a great question.
Yeah, are these... I spent a lot of time in investigating the elemental planes. So what sounds appropriate? Arcanology, folklore, spellcraft.
Let's see. Arcanology is a study of mages gone past. Folklore is a study of like monsters and creatures and legends around the area. Spellcraft is about the spells of this region.
I don't really think there's anything short of like a sage knowledge in this particular area. Is arcanology just mages past? It's not like a history of magic and like construction of magical devices?
That's a great question. Let me read the entry.
Did you write this, or is this from Skills and Powers?
It's from one of the books. I might have like trimmed up the language a little bit. Study of history and development of magic is termed iconology. A character with expertise in this field is familiar with the works of past wizards. If there was a source of powerful magic in the campaign's past, the arcanologist has a good idea who the great mages were and what they were able to accomplish. Special magical items, spells, and forms of magic wielded by these ancient sorcerers are familiar to the arcanologist. With a proficiency check, you can identify the general purpose and function of an ancient magic item. Note that this ability doesn't help the character to identify items manufactured by modern schools or traditions of magic.
Okay, so it does seem like it's prehistory. So it doesn't seem like it's quite arcanology. I will point out though that like the elemental planes are a source of power. I wouldn't call it magical power or arcane power.
You know what?
Like elemental power. So
I think folklore will do here because you have been digging around in these elemental planes. So I think that your folklore will extend to elemental lore as well.
And I've also like firsthand seen deposits in the elemental plane of Earth. I guess I don't have like a mining proficiency. Applying penalties might be appropriate, but in any case, I pass. So does this seem like a natural silver? I guess I don't know if I would know. Like a natural silver deposit isn't really what I'm accustomed to, but I'm used to seeing the elemental plane of Earth.
Well, as you dig through the debris here, you come across some like old buried bones and what looks to be like refuse from animals. There seems to be natural elements that are definitely from this plane of existence that are mixed in with this silver ore. So either this silver ore has been transported by the elemental and then mixed with stuff from this area and deposited here, or this is just like stuff from the earth got shoved out and excreted into the sea, which just includes the other things that were around it. So it's looking pretty good that these are natural deposits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, interesting. How high did we say the cliff was here? 80 feet? 60 feet? Right?
60 feet at the waterfall where you climbed.
Okay.
At the spot where everything popped out, it was 110.
Okay.
Yeah, from here you can look up the cliffside to see a section of earth that is less weathered. It looks like this must be where things have recently fallen from, and you can see sparkling bits of silver from your perspective down here looking up.
Yeah. And I think here it's when my perception checks have been failed, but I think at this point I want to like realize that I've been distracted by the silver deposit, remember my initial intention and be like, crap, is that elemental around? Am I about to get ambushed? And look around for signs of the elemental.
Last perception check then.
Right, because circumstances have changed. I've moved down to the beach.
Completely different
no longer
point of
climbing.
view.
Yeah.
From here, you're looking around at the area, and then you look back up the cliffside to that area that looks fresher, and the deposits have moved. And if you look at it for a little while, you can see the earth here is actually like shifting ever so slightly, and things are being moved about as if the elemental
is at the surface.
It's like at the edge of the cliffside.
That's perfect.
Churning.
I don't know if it's moving as well, if we should roll initiative, or if I can get my spell off.
It seems just to be like churning in place, maybe halfway up the cliff. So we'll call it 55 feet up. Well, no, the middle of it would be 55 feet up. But if it extends, I don't know, 5 feet in each direction, 10 feet in each direction, then I guess it's 45 feet above you at the base.
I would like to attempt to trap it in a bands of cerulean.
So will bands of cerulean form around a creature that is covered by earth, or does it need to be open?
That's why I was asking if it were at the surface. It doesn't like say anything about that. It does have a size restriction, gargantuan or smaller. So I would think the size restriction gets the best intention, right? Like if it is so intertwined with the cliffside that it is larger than gargantuan, that seems like it would not be targetable. It does say the bands materialize out of air, encircling and capturing the target. So maybe they can't dig into the earth.
Yeah, and so it's kind of flush with the cliffside. So I don't think bands of cerulean is going to work in this particular case. Or you're going to have to like lure it out somehow.
I will try out my new spell, Direct, targeting the elemental. So it gets a saving throw, which it probably will pass. But even if it passes, this magical poke may actually get it to do what I want it to do anyways.
Elemental Earth. Hit dice, saving throws.
When you're supposed to be sleeping.
Hello, little one. Oh, this talk of earth elementals looks so exciting. It rolls a 5, and its saving throw is more than 5. I think so they roll on the warrior table. Yes.
All right. The command will be to approach me.
It does.
And it's pretty much the sentiment needs to be one word or like a simple action. So I think nuance is probably lost, but hopefully approaching me in a non-aggressive way, conveying that I mean friendship, but this is all beyond the words of the spell.
Yes.
And it looks like we made this spell with verbal only components. Is that the case of command? Is command verbal
Command
only?
is verbal only, yeah.
Okay. I feel like, the command is in a form that the creature understands. So I feel like I open my mouth and like this, there's arcane words or like the words of the command, but like through the magic of the spell, they come out in some form that the creature understands. So I feel like for an earth, like I open my mouth and I like, from my perspective, I'm like saying approach and like intoning the magical words, but like projected from my mouth. Yeah. These voices of earth groaning.
The earth elementals feel the P waves emanating from your chest, and it begins to roll down the mountainside towards you. Notably, as it does so, it leaves behind a void in the cliff face. And the void in the cliff face is teeming with silver ore. Just like sparkling all around it.
Does it look like the creature is leaving silver in its wake, or does it look like there's just silver here and it's moving through it? Perhaps it was attracted to the silver deposit.
The latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does roll down the cliffside towards you.
Yeah.
And so I think now it's initiative roll.
Yeah. Activating a magical item is an action. Like using the ESP on my circlet would be an action in and of itself.
Yes.
All right, so I believe I will be casting my Bands of Cerulean. Ooh, that's good. Oh, I didn't select my token, but I don't think there's any way. Oh, it might not be large, or it might not be huge, large, whatever.
It is huge, so it'll roll at +9.
Wait, huge is less than gargantuan. Okay,
yes.
So Cerulean should work.
Okay, so this guy will roll in at +9. You rolled in at, what was it? 10?
6. Sorry,
6? Holy shit, yeah.
That's not even that fast.
Magic is fast. So the earth elemental starts coming down, or has already exited the cliff face, is rolling down towards you when you summon Bands of Cerulean.
Yeah, it gets -2 on its save.
1d20 -2. Another 5.
Nice.
The bands wrap around the creature, binding it, holding it in place. Spell wizard.
And it lasts a while. 1 turn plus 1 round per level. So I've got 19 minutes to figure out what the fuck to do with this thing. Oh, look how cute it is. I want to keep you. Figure out my
Excellent.
MP. I don't know if we need to tick rounds by. It'll probably be a little more. We do, but
we do.
We don't. So
because
the next round,
Earth Elemental still gets its turn, and it's sort of like held by these bands. But the Earth Elemental does not have a specific form, right? It is it's able to kind of shift itself.
I think the spirit of the Bands of Cerulean are that it traps the creature.
It absolutely is, but because this thing is amorphic, I'm going to say that it will get additional saves because it might be able to worm its way out, because it's amorphic. So I will give it the occasional save to see if it can escape.
I wonder if there's more details on Bands of Cerulean spell. I feel like giving it a save, more than one save a round doesn't feel fair.
Not more than one save a round, definitely not.
Yeah, so like it just failed a save. I feel like it shouldn't get another save.
It won't get a save this round. Yeah. That's a good call here. So I guess it just kind of stops, or maybe it tumbles down the cliff now that it's banded and can't attach itself to the cliff.
Do the bands wrap around the creature, or would the bands like hold the creature levitated? I think they might conjure, wrap, and then the creature tumbles down the cliffside.
I think that's what happens. They wrap around it. It starts to fall off the cliff as more of it gets tangled, and then the thing just tumbles down in your direction. You are underneath it as the bands of cerulean are going off. So I want you to make me a dex saving throw, a dex check to throw yourself
directly overhead.
Well, that's a big creature. It's huge. Even if it is like slightly off, it could tumble and fall in your direction. But your dexterity
step out of the way.
33.
And actually, that's probably more
here.
Convenient that it lands like right next to me.
It lands on that big pile of extruded earth that came out from it earlier, and because it's so big, it actually like hits and rolls ever so slightly and ends up like a third of it in the water as the waves wash up and wash back.
I can't find the wizard rebuild page, but I'm just looking for how many spell points different spell levels cost.
What
a third level spell just cost me.
Yeah, let me find that for you. I can't believe that's not a handout that I have for you. Wizard system, wizard rebuild, here it is. Spell level, casting cost. Third level spells are 12 points.
Yeah. Burning through that MP. So the next thing I will do is activate my ESP amulet.
Yes, hold on. I need to make this a handout so we don't have this problem in the future.
Can we do this later? I've got a...
Yes, okay, done.
Ticking time bomb strapped to my chest.
Okay.
Preparing to scream. So I will be activating the ESP amulet.
Okay.
And attempting to communicate with the creature. I think I'll cast a tongues the following round.
All right, well, I think you were definitely going to beat the creature's initiative because it rolls at +9. What's your item interaction initiative? +3? So, just, go before it. It rolls
it getting a save this first round after?
Yeah, I was going to give it a save this round, but it rolls a 16. You're definitely going to beat it with your ESP. So it goes off, and you can read its surface thoughts.
Which might be incomprehensible. Well, if you ESP, are the thoughts?
Thoughts are non-language based.
Yeah,
thoughts
so
are primordial.
ESP something that doesn't. I roll a 1.
Mm-hmm. You can sense the surface thoughts of this creature, which at this moment are sort of like a panicked, I feel trapped, sort of a I need to escape.
Mm-hmm. And then I will cast tongues the following round, but I don't know how often you're going to give it chances to escape.
I will give it a chance now, and then a chance in 2 turns, and then a chance in 4 turns. So diminishing returns on these saves. Fucking hell. Yeah, another 6. Its save is 7. It stays bound.
And I will cast tongues. And hopefully communicate. I don't know if I can...
Oh, little one.
I don't know if I can speak in primordial.
Additional languages with a racial... Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're going to a break in a second.
Okay, so you can speak the primordial language of this creature. 1 additional tongue. I don't know how much you can actually speak it, but I think you can easily... No, it does say you can speak... This does not enable the caster to speak with animals. The spell enables the caster to be understood by all creatures of that type within distance. Okay. I think we need to go to our break right now. All right. We'll be back on the other side of our break, guys. Bye-bye.